Hey, I'm Helen. I'm a product manager at a late-stage startup in Southeast Asia. When I was transitioning into product management, I really wanted to know if there was a path that would exponentially increase my odds of getting into product management. After all, I had no formal experience, no connections, and no technical background. However, it seemed to me that everyone's PM journey is vastly different. After months of preparation and research into other people's PM transitions, I crystallized all of these transitions that I came across into five top common archetypes. This gave me a framework to think about my own journey and eventually helped me carve a path of my own. And I was able to get my first PM job with that. I'll share with you about the pros, cons, and considerations for each path, whether you are a mid-career switcher or fresh grad. I'll also tell you a little bit about the path that I eventually took. If you're interested, watch on. Applying to the Associate Product Management program. The reputation of these programs will definitely be a plus on your PM career trajectory, as you're already on the direct path to PM. These are more suitable for recent graduates or those with 1 or 2 years of prior employment experience because they literally teach you from scratch. They are great opportunities for structured learning, and you can check out websites like apmlist.com to find out the next openings for APM. However, if you actually scroll through the openings, you'll realize that they are mainly for big tech companies, which are highly competitive because they have very few spots available as well. This means that they have their pick on candidates with the most impressive resumes. Location-wise, unsurprisingly, many of these APM programs are based in the US because that's where the product decisions are made in their headquarters for these big tech companies, where control is more centralized. If you're based on the other part of the world where I am, it would be challenging to gain a placement there, unless if it's a remote position. In Southeast Asia, we have the Management Trainee Program for some big Southeast Asian tech companies, where they put their employees in many different departments for short periods of time. For example, every 6 months, you will do a rotation, be it in the operations department or the marketing department or the strategy department, for instance. While these might not be product specific, they provide a great foundation for you because you get a sense of how everything is run and what it takes for a company to run smoothly. This will give you a good product understanding and lay the foundation when you eventually build products as a PM later on. Apply to product adjacent positions in a tech company. This is relevant for both recent graduates and mid-career switchers. Depending on your background, apply to product marketing, design, software engineering, data science, technical program management, product operations, product strategy positions, just to get your foot in the door for tech. If you do manage to get in, find opportunities to speak with product managers and understand their thought processes. If you can, shadow these PMs on the job. Well, the limitation for this is that you need to first have a specialty that these tech companies would hire you for. The second limitation is that you would need to have access to these product managers. Even if you don't work with them directly, try to join the internal work chat groups with them so you can hear the opinions that they share. Also, be sure to read everything that they write. For example, from the product requirements documents to product memos where they share about their thought processes, the frameworks that they use the trade-offs that they make, and why. Understand the product principles that they are basing their decisions on. With this, you'll definitely be more ready to make the transition into PM. Doing an internal transfer to PM within your tech company. And I would say this would apply mostly for mid-career switchers. This is a common path because it reduces the risk to hire. At this point, you've had some time within the company, you would presumably already know the hiring manager, the product team, because you are in a product adjacent position. Whether you work directly or indirectly with the product team, you would have an inkling of the specific skills required for you to succeed in this PM role because you've done your work by shadowing and helping the PM. Also, you would have the network and resources to connect with the people team to understand about the internal transfer process. I would say, though, that maybe the most challenging part is to identify internal PM sponsors and mentors who believe in you, who believe in your capability to think strategically and deliver effectively. With their testimony, your move would be a more smoother one because you already have people who are willing to speak up for you. Of course, you should go for the internal move if you want to continue staying in the company. If you're okay with the culture, if you are aligned with the company's direction. Join an early stage startup. If you want to accelerate your PM transition and don't mind the risk, consider joining an early stage startup and be a jack of all trades there. These early stage startups are more likely to have a smaller candidate pool as compared to the larger stage startups because they've entered the market later and had less time to build up their brand name. So candidates might not know or might not know about this startup well enough for them to put their resume in. In this sense, you can think of yourself as having fewer people who gun for the same PM position as you. On top of that, these early stage startups probably have less structured recruitment processes and are often more straightforward. So you might be able to get through the PM interview in a shorter time with slightly less structured selection criteria. Many of these younger startups probably don't have a very structured recruitment process at this point because they have a million other things to take care of as they're still going from 0 to 1. Therefore, you might have a higher chance of becoming a PM at an early stage startup. These startups need a lot of help, and your previous experience can be an instant value add for them. While it is very important to ensure that you're aligned with the company's goals and direction and see that the company is on track to grow. Because think about it, if the startup tanks before you're able to deliver value as a PM, it might not be so helpful in your PM transition. Okay, let me know. I plan to talk about how to choose a Southeast Asian startup to join in my later videos. So if you're interested, please leave a comment below. Start your own side project or even a company. Other than the more formal paths that we've talked about, there are many other ways to get into PM as well. Some ideas include having a pro bono PM work for an early stage startup, volunteer to build for a local nonprofit. For example, in Singapore, we have an initiative called Better.sg, where volunteers come together to build digital products for organizations for free. This is really meaningful because we solve existing problems faced by society today. You can also join a hackathon or take a PM class with a capstone project so you have something to discuss with your hiring manager in your PM interview later on. You can start your own no-code solution or build a product deep dive for your dream company or domain because this will really help to showcase your product strategy thinking. On top of that, you can also become a content creator by making videos or writing blog posts, posting on various other social media channels about your PM expertise. And there are really just so many ways for you to become a PM as long as you're willing to put in the continuous effort and persistence. Ultimately, we are all here because we hustled, someone saw our efforts, believed in us, and decided to give us a chance. If I can do it with no experience, no technical background, and no connections, so can you. Which brings me to my earlier promise to share with you about my own transition path. Actually, it was a combination of 3 different paths. The first one being an internal transfer, the second being a product adjacent role, and the third one was starting my side project. If you're interested to find out more, stay tuned and I'll be really happy to share with you in one of my later videos. Bye!